All right, I think we're rocking and rolling.
Yes, we are. So I know you're different time zone from you just woke up, but we're almost eating our lunch right now. So yeah. So you are where exactly?
I say Seattle, but I'm actually just across the water, and you take a ferry ride over from Seattle, the other side of the Puget Sound. Born and
Oh,
raised in the
okay.
area, and
That's awesome.
absolutely love it out here. So,
That's great. So go ahead and introduce yourself, Ryan, for our audience right here, and we're gonna go ahead and start rolling.
yeah. So obviously, my name's Ryan. I've been with Beekeepers Naturals for just about a year now, but I've been in the dietary supplement space for about 15. And believe it or
Uh-huh.
not, my very first quote unquote adult job was actually at my local GNC here in the kind of the Seattle area when I turned 18, actually.
Uh-huh.
Actually, so when I was 16, I went into my local GNC and begged them for a job. My older brother was actually starting to compete in amateur bodybuilding, and he
Uh-huh.
got me into supplements really, really young. And so, of
Yeah.
course, I wanted to take everything he took. So I went
Mhm.
down to my local store, and they told me to come back when I was 18 because I couldn't actually get a job. And so I held into it, got a job at
Uh-huh.
GNC,
That's
and then
awesome.
over the last 15 years, worked for a few different companies. I went to school to get my master's degree in nutrition, and kind of continued my progress, becoming a store manager, and then joined Iovate under the Muscle Tech branch for about 2 years, and I was doing
Oh
some
well.
regional work with them. And then another brand that I'm sure everybody's really familiar with, joined Vital Proteins and left them to join Beekeepers in January of this year. So, yeah, I've been doing this a long time. I have a huge passion for it. I've got a couple small kids, so children nutrition is really passion of mine as well.
That's awesome.
And yeah, that's a little bit about me. Like I said, born and raised out here in the Seattle area, and just really looking to spread the education on everything, not only beekeepers but just preventative health in general.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, we just start carrying your product in the stores. We started getting it, and actually, I tried the lozenges, and it really tasted really good. It tasted natural, nothing crazy, not sweet, nothing. I didn't feel like, oh my god, what's going on here? I was like, it was really, really good. So, can you give me an idea what is the line we're going to be carrying at GNC right now?
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's important. I'll give you a little bit of background on the company as well. So
Sure.
the company was founded in 2016 by a gal named Carly Stein. I highly encourage everybody to check out her social media. She's definitely the face of the brand. And essentially, she came across this ingredient, it's our flagship ingredient, called propolis in 2011 when she was studying abroad in Italy, and
Mhm.
she had never actually heard of propolis before. And even before joining Beekeepers, I actually really wasn't familiar with it as much as well. But she was a kid growing up that had a really hyperactive immune system, a couple
Uh-huh.
of autoimmune disorders, and
Yeah.
could never really figure out anything that cured those. So when she was in Italy, she was recommended this propolis ingredient by a natural pharmacist. It literally changed her world. Like overnight, all of her symptoms cleared, and so she naturally became obsessed with this ingredient.
Sure.
And when she came back to, we're actually based in Toronto, so when she came back to Canada, she tried to find products that were similar, and she couldn't. So she decided to
Start his
basically
own
become a
company.
beekeeper and yeah, literally start creating products for herself with really no intention to actually start a company. But over the first 3 or 4 years of just telling friends and family and offering at local farmer markets,
Mhm.
really started think that she was onto something. So she left her career. She was actually on the trading floor at Goldman Sachs at the time, with this really promising career in finance.
Mhm.
She left and started Beekeepers Naturals in 2016. And I guess circling back to this propolis ingredient, so it's an ingredient that bees are so fascinating. They make a ton of different byproducts, and all of the products that we make revolve around propolis being the first one. I'll talk a lot about that one today. It's such a
Okay.
fascinating ingredient in the way that bees actually produce this. So they forage for a lot of the plant resins and floral nectars, obviously, and they combine that with beeswax and essential oils and some saliva, and
Uh-huh.
they mix this stuff. We call it bee glue, and it's essentially what bees use to line the. They seal all the cracks and crevices in their hive in it. They actually the entrance of the hive is coated in propolis, and it's because it's got it's got 300 different natural compounds in it, and it
Wow.
really the compounds that are in propolis depend on kind of where in the world these bees are actually sourcing their ingredients from. But needless to say, it's got anti-inflammatory, it's got antibacterial, antifungal, anti everything, you name it. Propolis can do it. So the bees use it for that. And so when you take propolis, you're essentially giving your body these 300 compounds that you can take daily for more of a proactive approach to immune system. So that's propolis. And then, the other ingredients so we basically extracted propolis from the hive and then combined it with non-GMO vegetable glycerin and water to put it in a nice fun little spray format. So an easy way to take with the throat spray. And then the lozenges are great as well, just to get that daily propolis in, but also has some vitamin D and zinc in there, which we obviously know are very important for immune health and several other functions. But I challenge everybody after this, hop on Google and type in propolis mummified rodent. So I'll tell you a little story real quick to tell you the power of
you might want to say that again so Chris can type it.
Yeah, so type into Google propolis mummified rodent. And so what you'll see is, let's say a rodent tries to get into a beehive, to get the honey, the delicious honey. Well, the bees, he has an invader, and so they literally sting this rodent to death. And now they've got the problem of a rotting rodent in a hive that could, spread infection bacteria throughout. So they literally, again, Google this, they mummify this thing in propolis so that it can, the bacteria can't spread, stays localized, and they can go along their busy day. So again, it's such an powerful ingredient.
So fascinating.
Isn't that nuts? Isn't that really crazy?
It is. Oh my God. Thinking of it. Oh my goodness. It's like really amazing. Just now I'm going to go Google this and I'm going to go more in depth about this because it's just,
hopefully it doesn't turn anybody off from actually taking it because it's kind of a crazy picture.
Yeah, but
again, to show you
bees are bees. I mean, they're like, they're different and they're amazing. So the more you study about them, it's just like you learn a lot. It's just,
100%. Yep.
Yeah, so this is the two products we're going to be carrying right now, the spray and the lozenges at GNC. And are they exclusive to us?
They're not, but the size that GNC carries on the throat spray is. So originally our flagship product launched in a 30 ml size, a 60 servings. So we recommend taking 4 sprays per day. Actually, what I tell my kids is 4 sprays a day keeps the doctor away. That's kind of my way of remembering it. But definitely a preventative measure. And then if you're starting to feel something come on, you can take 4 sprays up to 4 times a day for more of that reactive approach.
60-day supplies then.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
Okay, for that bottle, right? And the lozenges, how many in that bag?
There's 14 in the bag. We recommend just taking 1 a day. And actually, so for the sprays and lozenges, both good for kids. The taste on them is great. Propolis is actually naturally pretty sweet. So the nice thing about our brand, and another one of the differentiators, is we wanted to come to market with, obviously natural products, but not throwing in a ton of extra junk in there, preservatives, artificial sweeteners, etc. We really just use the raw ingredients themselves, put them into a really potent extract. So our propolis spray, there are a couple other propolis sprays in the market. Some of them use alcohol. We choose not to. We're alcohol free, but we're definitely the most potent on the market. So from an efficacy standpoint, we're the strongest, and we're really proud of that. And then the other thing I'll mention, for a differentiator, so we third-party test for pesticides, and that's a really, really big deal in bee supplements. Yeah, it's a really big deal because the way you get certified organic in bee supplements is the exact same way you get certified organic in produce. But the problem with that is that bees obviously don't have a leash on them. So when they go forage for these, plant resins and floral nectars, they go well beyond what this, there's a 3-mile radius for organic produce where if it's sprayed with pesticides, obviously you can't label it, but bees travel 5, 6, sometimes well beyond that, 5, 6 miles beyond that. So there's really no true way to know that if you have pesticides, or even we're talking trace amounts of pesticides in your products, unless you third-party test. And so Beekeepers has chosen to go above and beyond. It actually kind of goes back to the founding story. So one other thing I'll mention is that when Carly came back from Italy,
Mhm.
one of the reasons why she couldn't find a product that worked is because, again, her body is so sensitive. These trace amounts of pesticides in some of these organic sprays actually made her break out. And that's what drove her to create Beekeepers and start the company herself. So yeah, third party tested, really, really clean ingredients and simple as well. So
When I was looking at your website, it says that it's a daily wellness, a smart brain fuel. What is this fueled? Can you just go a little bit about superfood honey? Just go a little bit more about the wellness.
yeah, so our approach is essentially we want people to use this phrase called reinventing the medicine cabinet, and it means a couple things. So one, reinventing the way people not only think about medicine, but the products they're carrying. So one, emphasizing that proactive nature. We want people to be not thinking about their immune system only when they're sick, because at that point it's a little bit too
So
late.
late.
Exactly, yeah. So we're emphasizing and educating on the proactive nature of our products, and then putting them in simple formats that people don't even have to think about. It's easily fits in their lifestyle. Because from my experience, the easier you can fit it in somebody's lifestyle, they'll remember it more. They'll actually want to take it. And so for the sprays and lozenges, it's easy because they taste delicious, and the way you actually consume them is really, really easy. So.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, what is the price point for the spray and for the lozenges right now? And how are you compared to the market? And for
Yep.
the same quality product, how are you comparable?
Yep, so they're both $8.99, and that gets you. So, like I said, they're good for the whole family. The spray will last you a little bit, but if you've got kids like me, you kind of blow through that bottle pretty quickly. We all do the 4 sprays every single, sometimes more. Like
Uh-huh.
actually, it's funny. I'll catch my son come in here, and I've got this little display of product, and I'll see him come in here, and he'll just be pumping away. So,
Oh,
if you could take too much, my son has definitely tested it,
it doesn't
but
hurt. It doesn't hurt.
it does not
It
hurt.
does
No,
not hurt.
no.
So yeah, so this is kind of like we're gonna carry your sprayer, and instead of where we used to carry the hand sanitizer and we go like this all the time. Now
Exactly.
we're carrying
Yep.
your sprayer and going all the time. We're
It's
going with
funny you
it.
say that. Yeah, it's
Uh,
funny you say that because I actually use it as when you leave the grocery store and one of the first things you do is grab that hand sanitizer.
yeah,
Now it's hand sanitizer and throat spray. So they're
there you go.
small enough to put in your purse if you have one. They're small enough to fit in the glove wherever you want to keep it.
That's awesome.
Really, really easy. But yeah, the key is definitely taking it every day for sure.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I know where you talked about being from Seattle and all this stuff. Have you been to Florida before? Have you came to the area here? Have you?
Yeah, I've actually I've been to Miami once. I was
Okay.
there a couple summers ago before the pandemic started.
Mhm.
Obviously we don't get as much sunshine up here. Actually, today is the first day of sun in a couple weeks for us. We're going
Wow.
through
Wow.
some.
Okay.
I
All
saw
right.
on the local news this morning it's flooding.
Okay.
But everybody get that vitamin D for sure. So the lozenges have the 1,800 IUs of vitamin D.
Really? That's
Which is
really
a
good to know.
really
We
healthy
didn't
dose.
add that. That's a good ad right there for the information. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah, no, the vitamin D in the lozenges is great. I actually take, being from the Northwest, we get almost no sun.
Yes.
So I take above and beyond that, but the 1,800 I use is a great dose in just a small lozenge. And then you get the zinc in there as well for your daily immune
Okay. Are
support.
you planning to come and visit GNC stores around, or that's not
I
one of the
should. Well,
plans?
we're on an Instagram live, so I guess you're
Yes.
going to have to hold
See,
me to
I'm
it.
giving you the invitation now, right? I
Nice.
mean, I think the Instagram and the technology didn't give us now the time just to go and meet in person. But I'm
I
just
know. Yeah.
I'm extending I want to go back again to the old days. Just like
Hey, any invite to that Florida sunshine, I will take.
here you
So
go.
bring it on.
Here you go. Here you go. Do you have any other questions for me? I mean, I would like to take advice how we can sell your product. We have like a small items like that it varies from 4.99 to 10.99, and your product is a new product. Then what should I advise my team how to add it and how to inform our client about it?
Yep. I would say the main thing is really just kind of educating on the power of propolis, and that's one of the sayings that we have here is powered by propolis. So actually, yeah, all of our products except for we make these little brain fuel shots that have royal jelly in them, another ingredient that bees make. But other than that, all of our products have propolis in it.
Hmm.
And again, yeah, educating on the benefits. So it's got natural amounts of vitamin C. It's got zinc in there. It's got actually quercetin, an ingredient I think a lot of people are familiar with.
Oh my
Propolis
God,
naturally
we
has
cannot keep
quercetin in it.
quercetin. Yeah, if we just mentioned that
I
quercetin, I
know.
mean, it flies off the counter, that's just like that.
Yep.
Everybody wants a quercetin. So if that have it, oh my God, that's amazing. Yeah.
Exactly. And then it's got some other really unique compounds that you don't see in a lot of other products, and you won't see it on the label because it's in trace amounts that they don't actually test for. But things like apigenin that actually has some anti-cancer type properties. Really really unique properties in general. But I would just say for customers coming in that are looking for again that proactive nature, and we're going into cold flu season. Actually, I think we were
We are in.
predicting.
We are in,
Yeah.
and actually, the COVID cases are in rise again. So that's why I heard that yesterday in the news. So
Yep.
people need to start maybe protecting their immune again. I mean, last year around this time, people were buying more of this category, but now it's just slowing down. But as you see, it's slowing down again. People are getting sick. So I'm very sure whatever we're doing helping them is working. So they need to remember to come back to our stores and go shop this line of products again.
Yep. No, I couldn't agree more. We actually have been seeing since about July, it's like midsummer when we started to see it increase as things started to open back up again. People are starting to travel again.
Mhm.
Starting to bring stuff back home, and then kids going back to school. Starting to bring some of those daily
Yeah.
germs back home.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
good for whole family health. I'd say anybody with kids, I would really highly recommend. Like I actually haven't gotten sick. Knock on glass. Actually, I'm sitting at a glass desk,
Yeah,
but
well, I have
knock on
wood
wood.
here. I'll knock it on wood for you.
Yeah, I know. Seriously, I haven't gotten sick
Yeah.
in quite a long time. And actually, the other thing I'll say I just remembered seasonal allergies. So I started the company in January, and naturally, I started taking all the products to familiarize myself with them. And I normally have really bad seasonal allergies, and that's actually one of the additional benefits of propolis. Is that you have these anti-inflammatory properties in it that can help prevent seasonal allergies as well. So come springtime, another really good preventative measure. Like I seriously had no seasonal allergies here, which for me, again, if you know
I
me, it's
I I
unheard of.
I
So
cannot agree more, 100%. I did have those allergies here in Florida, and I've been like I didn't your product just came, but I've been using that honey, that local honey
yep,
from here, and I do not suffer any allergies anymore. It's just weird. Like if I say I took all kind of medication, over the counter medication, prescription. And never nothing worked. But you have to be consistent though. It's
exactly.
not like you can take it for one day. I think it took me maybe a year before I start noticing. Oh, I didn't get that much of the watery eyes and the sneeze
Yep.
and it's disappearing. But this is became part of my daily routine, and it's just like people say, oh, it's like, oh, go get the that honey. I'm like, but you're just not gonna use it for 1 or 2 days and people think that honey can get you it's a natural sugar, it's better than any other sugar, and if you don't overdo it, it's actually really really good for you. So
Yeah.
it's,
Yep.
when it comes to people who's trying to watch their weight and watching exact their calories and stuff, it's not as bad. I didn't gain a pound because of the honey. I think it's just like because I'm eating other things, not
Yep. Yep.
not
Yeah,
not the
honey
honey.
is one of those unique ones because you're right. We hear a lot about this. Cut the sugar. But the types of sugars that are in honey aren't going to spike your blood sugars like regular cane sugar, let's say, or
Yeah,
glucose.
absolutely, yes, absolutely.
Yep. And then for the
Okay.
lozenges, that was actually a really important part of bringing the product to market was making sure that it wasn't breaking the sugar budget, let's say. So only 1 gram of sugar per lozenge. It's coming from the actual honey itself.
Mhm.
And then it's got a little bit of monk fruit and fiber in there as well. So not going to kill you as far as the sugar content goes. But yeah, great products.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, so we need to we need to give an advice today to our viewer that to upgrade their medicine cabinet and look for some more natural ingredients and natural product. And GNC is offering that right now. We're very very excited to have you guys for the immune support. And some people doesn't like to take a lot of pills and capsules, and maybe tired of it and worried about, oh, I'm taking too much of this. And there is no other natural way of just making your sweet day by a couple of sprays, or maybe taking a couple of lozenges. That's just
Yep.
a good way of or a good taste for boosting your immune system. So.
Yep. Yeah, and it's interesting too, because we actually have quite a few singers that use our product after a long show, direct contact of the anti-inflammatory in the throat. But I actually even find, if I'm on Zooms all day long doing meetings and talking a lot, it actually just helps in general. So don't lose my voice
Also
ever. It helps soothe the
yeah, it soothes
throat.
the
Yep.
throat. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. My son, usually the youngest son, he usually start like when he gets allergies, he usually starts in his throat, and he's like, "Mom, I feel something." And one of the things I used to give him like a teaspoon of honey in the morning. Like, "Mom, what are you doing?" I was like, "Just take that."
Trust mom. Yep.
Just mom, and you'll feel. And I did that with him all during like high school, and but whatever it works, especially
Hey,
because
mom knows
once you
best.
get because once you get that like attack of like allergies or something, it's like his day is gonna be miserable. So I knew it was working, but it was a long run as long as he's taking it. So
Yep.
well, do you have any other question? Do you have any questions for me? I know I've been talking and asking questions, and do you have any questions for me?
I would just say, in general, for anybody that's looking for, again, like you said, natural products, they're looking to introduce an ingredient that they've never tried before. Again, I highly encourage everybody to look up this propolis ingredient.
Okay.
A lot of good compounds in there. And then, from a proactive standpoint, think of it this way, like we are trying to create products that you don't need to reach for, let's say the chloroseptic spray that has chemicals in there that aren't so good for you, or we make a line of cough syrups that we don't want you reaching for the NyQuil that has
I
like the
wanted to give a
dextromethorphan
comment
chemical.
about that. If your kids are fussy and do like that kind of medicine and the taste of medicine, this is just really a great way.
Oh, it's amazing.
Uh,
Yep.
yeah. I'm sorry to cut you off about that. Just like I thought about, but also because I have kids, just like
Yep.
whenever I try to give them that cough medicine or whatever like that stuff, I'm like, ugh, mom, I don't like that. And plus, also, it's not natural at all. So
Exactly. Yeah. So powered by Mother Nature, which is awesome. And again, I've learned so much about bees in the last year since I've been with this company. And again, they're so fascinating. Um, so yeah, powered by Mother Nature, knowing that Beekeepers goes above and beyond with third-party testing for pesticides. I can't emphasize that enough, because again, it's not something we have to do. We just know that we should do it. And we're hoping that it becomes industry standard. By Beekeepers leading the way, we're hoping that other companies come on and realize that you absolutely have to be doing that. Pesticides are in everything nowadays. So again, yeah, going above and beyond, and then knowing that we're putting in ingredients in there at doses that are efficacious. I've seen a lot of my 15 years in the supplement space. I've seen companies do a lot of things when it comes to the dosing and putting in ingredients in there at doses that don't really do a whole lot. So when you go grab a Beekeeper's product, again, that you're getting a natural product, but at doses that actually work. And so I
your
think
body
that
needs, and it will be sufficient. Yes.
exactly, yep. So I encourage everybody to try out the product. I don't think you'll be disappointed whatsoever.
I don't
And
think so either.
come
So.
spring, you'll get through. Of course, there's never any guarantees, but you'll get through spring and say, "Wow, I got sick way less this cold flu," and that's the goal.
And my
So.
allergies less, and my allergies are less.
Exactly. Yep. And again, every single day, I can't preach that enough. Just because it's really that important.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I'm going to invite all my Lakeland, Plant City client customers to stop by and try it. We have it at all the 4 locations right now. We're very excited to have it. I tried it. The flu season is here. The kids, as you said, at the school, they're bringing germs to the house and to around the grandparents and the older people that they can get easier. So
Yep.
there is no better way to protect the whole family than
Hey,
just like few
and
sprays a day.
exactly. Well, and with holidays coming up, you're going to be around friends and family a little bit more, and they're great. They're small. They're great stocking stuffers. I'll say that.
Oh,
The
that's a good
spray is
idea.
actually a really good stocking stuffers, kind of giving
That's
that gift of health, if you will.
yes,
I really
yes.
like that idea.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So we're gonna ask them to stop by and just buy it and try it, and I think you're gonna be hooked because I am right now after I tried yours, and I'm
I
a
love it.
big believer of the honey and the bees and all this. It really does work. So I
And
really want to appreciate your time. Really, go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah, no, I was gonna say, and that when we give a lot back to saving the bees. So there's a couple different organizations that we work with that are really kind of
That's
leading the
really good to
way
know.
in bee research. So just knowing that when you support beekeepers, you're also helping support kind of that mission to save the bees. So
That's that's awesome. So like supporting the small business in your areas, all the beekeepers and all this. Yeah,
exactly,
it's just
yep,
like it goes around in a circle. Like we're a small business here in Lakeland, and I've been doing this for 20 years, and I always preach that we're a small family owned and business.
yep,
Operating this business for 20 years. We love our client, and we love to support the small business in town and around that surrounded area. So we online is convenient and everything, but again, we're a small community. We love to support each other and support even if it's like the farmers somewhere else or
yep.
the beekeepers or it's just like it's all start with a small business, a small family owned, and it grows from there. And we're hardworking people. We just do not like take a day off. We keep working every single day. So this is adding your company and supporting even the beekeepers in your area or whatever area. That's just to me, it's a great addition. So I'm really, really excited to get to meet with you. I thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you so much for talking to me. And if you decided to introduce another product to GNC, or if you come up with anything new, hey, let us know. We'll go on podcast. If you have something you want to add, just give us a call, and we'll go for it. We're more than welcome to do more interviews and talk with you and talk about your company. Really, really excited for that, and thank you for your time.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a pleasure. I'm always down to help educate and spread the health and wealth of love. So
All
I
right.
really appreciate it, and
Thank you so much.
we'll
Thank
stay connected.
All right. Have a great day.
All right,
Thank
bye,
you.
everybody.
Bye.